Some people complain about everything, and I can agree to this. Sometimes we as a community may give EA a bit of a hard time. However, there's some things that we can all agree on that we all wish was changed in FIFA 20. That we together as a community can all give EA a bit of a nice talking to about. If it's some things very small or some things that may be quite specific, there's always some things that we wish was a bit different. Today, welcome to top 10 things all FIFA 20 players hate. Well, hey, so this is new. So if you guys do want coins and want the best players in the game for the cheapest coins on the market, make sure to go to u7buy.com and use the discount code Vizeh for 5% off your total order. If you don't use the discount code, then have a cry. So enjoy the video. Top 10 things all FIFA 20 players hate. This could be little things to big things. So if you're new here, please feel free and subscribe. We are 3,000 subscribers away from 200,000. So if you get at that, that'd be great. Also, smash the like button if you do enjoy this video and you want more content like this. And tell me down below in the comments what's the #1 thing that you hate the most in FIFA 20. I'm looking forward to hearing it. So this video is going to vary on a few things of FIFA. Could be from gameplay to content to career mode and to pro clubs and of the entirety of Ultimate Team. Sit back, relax, strap yourself in, because if you have just played a game of FIFA or Foot Champions and you're a bit mad right now, trust me, you're about to be very soothed by the end of this video to know that you are not the only one that feels the way you do. So with that said, let's get into the top 10. Coming in at number 10, it is going to be the League SBCs, and specifically how dead the players you get back from the League SBCs are. Looking back on previous FIFAs, let's say back in FIFA 17, when League SBCs first came out, we had the likes of Harry Kane in the BPL League. We had Lacazette from Liga, Luis Suarez from La Liga, big cards that people loved using. There was also Samuel Eto'o back in Super League, Giovinco in MLS, Higuain in Serie A, big players that would make a difference. And what are these guys? Like, let's be real here, guys. Out of the entirety of the Bundesliga, we could have had so many amazing players that would be useful right now. We could have had Akanji, Ruzalon, Goretzka, Witsel, Timo Werner, just to name a few. These are not players that would break the game and would make the actual cost of the SBC actually worth it. For example, if you want to do the Bundesliga SBC, then you have to spend 306,000 coins on Xbox to complete the SBC and 283k on the PS4 to get it done, which for me is absolutely ridiculous for this guy Matthias Cunha, which made us say I've never heard of before this SBC came out, and then Boretius, who his COD stats looks okay for the first week or two of the game, then after that it just isn't good enough. And yet again, if you're spending 300k for an SBC, you don't want an 85 guy who could only just maybe fit in your team. You want them to be the main guy. So a Witsel, and a Kanji, a Timo Werner would be perfect, or a Kingsley Coman would be perfect in this type of SBC. But yet again, they are just giving us players which we just don't care about. A brilliant example is Ligue 1 as well. Who are these two? Meludia and Delane. Honestly, these guys are not that bad, right? But for the 200k that you're spending on this SBC, it just isn't worth it. These guys, if they were in forms on the market, would be worth an absolute maximum of like 20 to 25,000 coins. Absolute maximum. And they're charging you 200k for it. A brilliant example of who we could have got in the SBC would be someone like a Kimpembe, a Cavani. A 90 or 91 rated Cavani would not break the game. Thiago Mendes, even though Aura, or however you say his name, I'm sorry if I butchered it, would be great for this SBC if they were given a bit of a boost, but he just sadly wasn't. So this easily takes in number 10 for one of the things I hate about this game. Coming in at number 9 is the fact that you could get coin wiped or /banned for simply sniping or trading on this game. A good friend of mine called Flair was in fact investing in some Bayern Munich players for the League SBCs beforehand, and when the SBC came out, he then listed them all up for a lot of money and made good profit. This is completely legal and is not against anything at all. However, EA a day later ended up banning him because they thought that he was coin transferring, which basically means that you have two accounts and you're transferring one coin to the other, which makes no sense. Now, what may have happened is that he may have bought some Bayern Munich players that's all from one same guy who's listing them up, which means that EA must have saw this and thought, wait, this must be coin transferring, without even keeping in mind that the brand new Bayern Munich SBC was just released that day. So many people, legit snipers, traders, can get banned from just trying to make coins in this game. It's almost like EA wants you to just give up and just spend FIFA points in this game and to give them more money. Don't do that. They don't deserve your money. The amount of people I have seen that's contacted me saying, hey, So I was sniping and I made 500k in a few days. I got coin wiped because they thought I was coin botting, which makes no sense. They just can't simply tell what is the difference between an actual bot and a normal human, despite the amount of times that you in fact complete the capture every 5 minutes when you're trying to snipe, which proves that you're in fact a human. This is one thing which I hate, because people can legitimately make coins in this game and enjoy doing it, and then get the entirety of their work completely wiped just because they're making coins that doesn't suit the way they want you to do it, i.e. through rewards, which they have complete control of what you can receive, and then farm FIFA points. It's completely disgusting. By the way guys, if you are enjoying this video, then make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. It really does mean a lot. Now, coming in at number 8, it is going to be the entirety of the pro scene. Now, you may not care about this, but I know that some people do, right? And one thing that I've noticed recently is that the pro scene is in a complete state right now, and it's worse than I've ever seen it. There's people in the scene that's snitching on people, like Face Task apparently snitching on 2 pro players for racist abuse apparently, which both of them was going to keep it on the quiet, but yet Face Task allegedly contacted EA and ended up getting them both banned, even though both of the 2 that was banned wanted nothing to do with it. Also, the North American pro scene purposely making discords to try and avoid each other in games, including one of the Champions League winners, NYC Chris, in fact saying, I'm gonna search for a game right now just to make sure that no pro players can be searching, just in case they accidentally get matched. This was found out and publicized by Run the Foot Market, who in fact was getting stream sniped by pro players because they don't like the fact that he's doing well at FIFA. It's just complete jealousy and is actually quite sad. And then there's people like Kurt being banned for an entire FIFA for making a gesture of spitting on the scarf. Now, you may have your own agreements with this, if you believe that he should be banned for a week, for a month, for a full year, forever, or not at all. It's your own opinion on this one. I don't think he should be banned forever. I don't think he should be banned for a full year, but I do believe he should receive a bit of a suspension because spitting on a badge is quite disgusting. And that brings me on to number 7, and that is going to be how slow the gameplay is now. Now, this is a controversial one because some people really do enjoy the fact that the game is more realistic. It's more authentic. It's more slower and more thoughtful and tactical. This is the issue that I have with this game, is that yes, it may be more slower and more realistic and more tactical, however it makes for a very boring experience because you end up spending most of your time trying to break down your opponent's defense, which takes most of the game it seems, because guess what, they're playing one depth drop back, which is very frustrating. Of course, we've just gone through a transitional period where EA has gone from the arcade-like style game with Brazilvers and skill moves from back in FIFA 11, 12, 13 and onwards, and then we've transition to this ultra pro competitive scene, which in my opinion is completely based on a niche market, and most people in the community does not care about becoming a pro player or a competitive player in any manner. And with this, I do hate that DKTs has been removed from the game, which I just don't understand why they got rid of it. And tell me down below in the comments, do you wish that DKTs made a return? I hope so too. Now in at number 6, and it's going to be the fact that referees can give away a penalty for you doing nothing. The amount of times that I have played FUT Champions and my opponent could be on the attack inside my box and I'm simply joking next to him to ensure that I can see him out of play. Guess what? He shoots, falls over because he shoots, and I press nothing. I don't press B to lunge, I don't press A, I don't press slide tuck. I'm just simply jogging near him, but because he shoots and may hit into me because he shoots, he then falls over and then I concede a penalty. It is completely ridiculous. This has always been an issue in FIFA's, but I swear this year it's worse. Last year you rarely got penalties given away. Sometimes you just waved it away more often than not, which I appreciated, but this year it seems like it's come back again, and that referees just give away penalties for no seemingful reason at all. Also, offsides for me this year is glitched a lot more often than what it should be, but I don't know, man. I swear that they are giving weird offsides more often than not than previous FIFAs this year. Coming in at number 5, it is going to be a career mode thing that we hate, and that is how OP teams now are in FIFA 20. Now, if you don't remember, back at the start of the game, big teams were completely ridiculous. I mean, I did a career mode, right, where they played their C team and B team against me in normal Premier League games. If you're Brighton, Arsenal, Man United, it doesn't matter. They played weird-ass players. Now, with a patch, they now in fact play their full team, which is great. It now makes for a very realistic and proper experience. However, I think they've gone too far now, because let's look at these examples. You can still only lose one game of an entire season and still not win the league. You can win 36 games, only lose once, and you could still not win the league. Looking at this example here, you can see that Piemonte Calcio, i.e. Juventus, won 36, drew once, lost nil in the entirety of the season, and this guy was not the manager of Juventus. And guess what? If you was Napoli, Inter, Milan, Roma, you can win every game and only lose once and you will still not win the title. It is completely ridiculous. And also, look at that. They only conceded 9 goals in an entire season. That is mad. Let's also look at the Premier League. Manchester City won the title on 106 points. Liverpool with 103, which I guess is somewhat realistic, right? Right? Maybe. But yet again, if you lost 2 games in an entire season, then you would not win the league, which for me, I feel like is a bit too OP in my opinion. Now, you may like this, you may like the fact it's a challenge, and yes, I must say it is a challenge, but it's a bit ridiculous having 89, 81 goal difference and having 103 points and still not winning the league. I think EA needs to tone this down just a little bit, but maybe I'm just complaining too much. You tell me. And now on to number 4. We are going back to Ultimate Team, and this is going to be the Hunter and Shadow Chem Styles. This is really mad. It never has been this bad as long as I can remember that the drop rate is way too low. There's been a point in the last few weeks that there was 0 hunter cards or shadow cards on the market. They were completely gone, and the only way you could get them is sniping them. And if you were very bad at sniping, there is no way in hell that you were able to get yourself a hunter or shadow chem style. So what could EA do? They could do 2 things, right? Is that by upping up the drop rate, that means that more people can pack them, therefore more on the market, therefore there would no longer be a stint. What they did though is that they simply just upped the price range of them from 5k max to 25k max. So now there's chem styles now worth about 9-10k each. It is completely madness that for a simple chem style that for me I don't even think makes that much of a difference is so hard to get and is now so expensive. I never really understood the madness of chem styles. I've just seemed to just get them because it just makes me feel good about myself, but I never really seem to see that much of a difference. It is about 8,000 coins, which is completely madness. So a situation that EA can solve by simply making them more pack worthy, instead just made them more expensive. Love to see it. And now we have finally made it to the top 3, and that is going to be the fact that there is no sponsors still in FIFA 20 career mode, the fact that there's no visual simulator now in career mode. They've actually made it more dumbed down now compared to last year, and the fact that there's no staff in career mode. How can features that was back in FIFA 08 still not be about in 2019 in FIFA 20? It makes no sense to me how they can get rid of features which seems to be so obvious in a career mode. You are playing a manager realistic simulator here, and you don't have staff anywhere, you barely have training, you can't change anything about the facilities, you have no sponsors, and even you simming games is so dumbed down now for seemingly no reason. Last year, at least you was able to see the entirety of the minutes go up. It may be quite fast and you can't do anything other than watch it, but at least it was something. Nowadays, if you sim a game, it goes boop, goes from 0 to 90 within a second, and that's game done. FIFA 10, you was able to actually simulate through the game, see both teams, see the entirety of the game go out like it was Football Manager or Championship Manager, and that you have little highlights on what it says, what happens in the game, and that you can actually affect the game by in fact joining in mid-game, or you can in fact make changes that you want to make mid-game that would actually make a difference. Again, why would they dumb it down more when it's over 10 years ago it was actually released? Surely you would think that it would get better over time, but in fact, it actually is more streamlined. Tell me down below, do you want to see staff in career mode? Do you want to see training facilities? Do you want to see facilities as a general? You want to see coaches? You want to see sponsors? You want to see simulations? I don't think there's anything wrong with doing this, and I just don't get why they haven't done it. And now at number 2, and I'm going to put in, it's tough here between number 1 and number 2 here, because they're both very hated, but I'm going to put in 1 depth drop back. Maybe just drop back as a general. Now for me, I need drop back. I put 4 depth drop back. The reason why is because I feel like without having drop back, then my fullbacks completely disappear. I have no fullbacks in any positions unless I'm on some form of drop back, which is terrible. So I feel like I have to play, my hand is forced to play drop back, Otherwise, I have no defense. Now, I play depth 4 because I actually have a soul. I can't go depth 1 because I become the person that I hate. And if you want to double check the effect that it takes between depth 1 and depth 4 in drop back, that it goes from just your defense and your CDMs being back in your defense to then your entire wingers and even some of your attackers. Meaning that even though you may be able to defend better because you have more players back, everyone plays this style, therefore every game is just boring, guys. The next one, it really is an issue, and I think it needs to be changed very soon. It really is an issue with gameplay, and it makes the game boring for everyone else. And now onto number 1 now, which it goes perfectly with this. Delay in servers. The game delay is ridiculous. How you could play the game at a different time on the same day, and yet you have completely different gameplay. The fact that this is still a thing in 2019 is still bonkers. How can I play a game of Foot Champions at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock on a Friday, and it being pretty terrible, or even like 7 o'clock on a Friday, and it's terrible, it's very slow. I press A, it takes half a second to register, but then I play it at like 1 in the morning, and then it's completely fine. Of course, it means that there's less people in the game, therefore it is smoother because there's less people stressing the servers. But yet, is this really still an excuse in this day of age for this to still be an issue? I don't think, personally, that is a good enough excuse for me. So with how slow the gameplay is initially, with the delay of servers, and then added with dropback as well, makes for a very dull and very boring experience. For me, I've played Gold 3 pretty much every weekend. I've not gone further than Gold 1, not because I can't, but because I don't want to. Because the first 10-15 games of Foot Champions is not that bad, because you play against random people of different elos, of different ranks, so it's somewhat fun and random. But then when you get into the last 15, last 10 games, it is completely stressed and very dull, because you play against the same sort of player every single game, against the same team every single game, and it's just boring. So for me, guys, that is the top 10 things that I hate in FIFA 20. Tell me down below what is the number 1 thing for you, and did I miss anything out? Let me know that as well. But yeah, guys, I appreciate your guys' support recently. It's insane. We are so close to 200,000 subscribers. If you can hit that, that mean a lot. And yeah, man, you smashed the support on the most OP players in FIFA history video. You guys love that. So yeah, guys, smash that button, and hope you guys enjoy. Thank you all for watching. My name is Vizeh, and I'll see you next time.